Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NewsBrowse News broadcast. NBC News reports on a groundbreaking new drug, Daraxonrasib, which has shown unprecedented results in treating advanced pancreatic cancer. In a Phase 3 clinical trial involving 500 patients whose chemotherapy was failing, the drug doubled their average survival time to 13.2 months, compared to 6.7 months for those on chemotherapy. The drug works by targeting a mutation in the KRAS gene, common in over 90% of pancreatic cancers, effectively switching off uncontrolled cell growth. This breakthrough has generated excitement, with doctors exploring its potential for other KRAS-mutated cancers like lung, colorectal, and ovarian cancers. The FDA has fast-tracked its approval for pancreatic cancer and approved an expanded access program. Patient Debbie Orcutt, 71, saw her liver cancer vanish and pancreatic tumor shrink by 80% with minimal side effects, contrasting sharply with chemotherapy's toxicity. While not a cure, Daraxonrasib represents a crucial first step towards less toxic, more effective cancer treatments. Liony Zabba reports, citing U.S. media, that Iran's underground missile bases are quickly reopening following weeks of U.S.-Israeli airstrikes, challenging the efficacy of the U.S. bombing strategy. Experts note that Iran has demonstrated the ability to rapidly clear buried weapons and launch more long-range missiles towards Israel and other Middle Eastern countries, highlighting the limitations of targeting tunnel entrances to destroy Iran's missile capabilities. Satellite imagery analyzed by CNN reveals that Iran used simple equipment like bulldozers and dump trucks to overcome the damage from these costly military actions. Despite 69 tunnel entrances being blocked across 18 underground bases, 50 have since been reopened. The Pentagon, when asked, reiterated that the U.S. military possesses all necessary resources for operations. Experts estimate Iran still holds about 1,000 missiles in underground facilities, with ground attacks likely having caused minimal damage to these stockpiles. West African nation Guinea held parliamentary and mayoral elections on May 31st, 5 years after a military coup. According to Liberty Times, the incumbent president Mamadi Doumbouya's allies are widely expected to achieve a landslide victory, as several major opposition parties were dissolved by the government prior to the elections. The main opposition alliance, the Forces Vives de Guinea, has called for a boycott, denouncing the polls as an electoral farce aimed at establishing a new dictatorship. Observers from Agence France-Presse in the capital Conakry noted peaceful campaigning but low voter turnout, with many voters expressing uncertainty about who to support or calling candidates unknowns. This election, following last year's presidential election, is seen as a crucial step for Guinea to return to constitutional rule after the 2021 coup. However, despite President Doumbouya's initial promise to hand power back to civilians after a transition, civil liberties remain severely restricted, with political parties suspended, protests banned, and opposition figures frequently arrested or disappeared. Japanese institutes have successfully developed a Wi-Fi receiver chip that can operate for hours in extreme radiation conditions, as reported by Kyodo News. This innovative chip is designed to withstand up to 500 kilograms of radiation, far exceeding limits for typical space semiconductors. Its primary applications include assisting decommissioning efforts at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power complex, where intense gamma radiation severely limits the use of conventional wired robots. By enabling wireless communication for robots and drones, the chip aims to reduce radiation exposure risks for workers and enhance maneuverability. The technology also holds promise for future space missions operating in similarly harsh environments. Researchers from the Institute of Science Tokyo and the High Energy Accelerator Research Organization achieved this by reducing transistors, replacing some with radiation-less sensitive inductors, and enlarging remaining transistors to minimize damage. The study was presented at an international conference in San Francisco. According to the Asahi Shimbun, the Asia Security Conference, also known as the Shangri-La Dialogue, concluded on May 31st. China's defense minister was notably absent for the second consecutive year, and Beijing's scheduled speech slot was canceled just before the event. This situation has raised concerns among observers regarding China's increasing military expansion juxtaposed with its growing secrecy. During the conference, Japan's defense minister Shinjiro Koizumi addressed China's recent criticism of Japan regarding new militarism, refuting claims that Japan has not expressed apology or reflection towards Asian victim countries. A Chinese delegate from the floor challenged Koizumi's speech with a question, asserting Beijing's viewpoint. The pattern of non-attendance and last-minute cancellations, coupled with rapid military growth, fuels worries about transparency and regional stability. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.